Hey guys, M12 Warthog here. So, I skipped out on some stuff, I've expanded more, but I want to talk about what I've done because I don't feel like showing all these details were necessary in terms of getting a victory on this map in this scenario. But, however, I do want to point out, I did expand over here at first, took out an enemy here, then went down here, took out these guys here, claimed some unclaimed territory here because the nation fell, but some of those territories were left unclaimed. I don't know why they didn't just take them over as soon as they got here. And a big thing I want to note is that I'm not guarding these coastlines like I said I would. In the early game, yes I did, but I didn't over here. The reason for that is because I have a blockade here. Naval blockade down here and here. So anyone who's at war with me can't go through to get to these areas unless they challenge these naval blockades. Now I can move them up as I go along up the coastline here. Now I did take out a leader here, and the only downside to this is that I got all of their territory, and some of it's over here, which is why I have a high amounts of troops here, because I want to protect these areas, because it's going to be hard for me to send reinforcements to them. As a matter of fact, one could say I could very easily buy defenses for them, which I'm actually going to do. Actually more protected than my capital, which feels so wrong. I can't even buy enough troops for that. Okay, well, it does not matter. So, for our next turn, what we should be doing is figuring out who to expand into next that we're not at war with. But also in a way to where we can make use of this advantage, even though that it may not last long enough, to just take out these people here. Just to make use of these territories here, take out people here, and launch a two-front war on them, rather than them launching a two-front war on us. Which, given the possibility of me already being at war with someone here because they threatened my ally, I already went in, then my ally died, and so forth, and now we're on non-aggression with these people. We're at peace, but we're not allies. I figured I could at least try and save them, but they didn't. So I figured I don't have to fight them, and we're allies with these people. Which then pretty much meant no fighting on this side. Now let's change the front of our war over here, and we were successful. So, now the question remains. What do you want to do? Also, up here, I want you to look into the new people. Start out with the most mountain territories. They're losing. They don't have a whole lot of land now. They had a whole lot of land early game, but they lost a lot of it because they couldn't put down 1,000 troops on 100 enemy ones because they have the gold. They could get the gold. What they couldn't get is the population for the armies themselves. And this is where fertility festivals would come into play. I don't really think I'm going to need that. Maybe when I start getting into these areas where there's less population and up here, maybe. But at the same time, I could just easily make a blockade here, here, and here with my navy, and pretty much prevent them from coming anywhere down the coastline here. And I could just send troops from our more populated areas through naval vessels all the way up here, which would technically be another option. Whether or not that'd be cheaper than every 6 turns trying to buy a nationwide fertility festival begs to differ, really, in this situation. So now that I can destroy someone, how many territory does this person have? Oh, they only have 2. And that would be the other one. Okay, well. Well, I mean, they do have defenses. And a leader. How much does cost good? Okay. Totally worth the 2 territories. Goodbye. For now, that's what I'm gonna do. Another reason that I did this is I have an eye right here along the naval routes. So if they come in with a bigger, larger naval force than what I have, I know I can spend money on troops and deploy them onto a naval force here. I could put like 400 here onto the water, take these, put it here, so that each one has about 400, and there we go. Very easy to do. And plus, given where I'm at, I could very easily put troops here and here if I wanted. Actually, I'm gonna do this, though. Alright. As predicted, they wouldn't do well unless you got the early game advantage and carry that into mid and late game. They could not. The new people in their faction have fallen. I was checking the diplomacy. They don't have any diplomacy with anyone. Well, you know. Oh yeah, and since then I got Grand Ruler status, but I'm not really going to use the... But I'm not really going to use some of it, recognition, because then that's like, just accept your defeat now. I'd rather carry this strategy guide out to the end because I know a lot of people probably won't agree to it. A great challenge I might when it gets to the point where I want to go to war with people, but I don't want to lose happiness over it. So... I mean, let's see here. I'm only losing 12%. So I feel like, yeah, that'd be okay. Just to straight up declare war. This one's gonna have to hold the line. Because there's a lot of different territories that this one could attack, so... Not sure if they're gonna reinforce that, so I send a little more than usual. If that's the case, we're allies with them, so that's not gonna be a worry. I can just reinforce this in case anything goes wrong here. Then, given that we're peace with them, given the mountain range, they can't attack from there. Alright. I know technically these two borders are unprotected, but the only people that they can attack, us, assuming we take out the territories we're attacking, are people who can't. So, this should be good. We move in. They got a big force down there. I want to show them that we're gonna be able to take what we want in a strategic manner and not give them any ground. Alright. What do we have here? Probably wish I didn't spend all of that. Actually... there. And they move their leader into a dangerous area. Okay, so I knew they had an army here. They must have... When I moved my army down here to attack, they must have moved their leader there. I don't know what they were doing, moving close to a combat zone. If you lose your leader, you lose all of your territory. Anyway, because of this is very helpful for us because I can redistribute my units more effectively now. Going to move that down there. Going to put this here. Okay, so from the looks of it, I've now just taken out more territory, further increased my capabilities by reducing the amount of borders I have, although I still could consider these borders because the point at which you get too powerful is the point in which your allies start turning on you, because there can only be one winner in said scenario. They just don't want to deal with the wrath I can bring yet, and they hope later on they will be able to deal with it. Question is when and how. And I like the fact that they have a naval ship over here, but you know. Alright. So let's see here. That's there. This is... Well, okay. Gonna move all of this up. Move this up. Seven, but we're at peace. Okay. Made my moves. Now I want to declare war and get more land. I'm gonna risk losing happiness, but I think we can take care of that. Either lose 25% happiness, or go to war. And if I am to assume that everyone's gonna go to war with me, where would be our most vulnerable spot? Okay. These areas still have defenses here, so I'm not all too worried. Alright. To war! So you notice how, in this situation, I've decided to attack this nation here. And I've planned out my troops to move and attack. Now, the reason I've done it in this particular way is because I, one, went for the leader, forcing them to either... They know I'm going to go for it, so I'm either going to get all their territory. But the thing is that they have to either move their whole entire team, whole entire leader and the people guarding it away, and let me get some land, or they're going to have to move in and reinforce it. Which is why I went in with 250 here, 240, so I have about more than this army and this army combined. Because they have, like, what, about 300? We have about... That's about 250, plus another 50. That's like 300. Yeah, so, yeah, we do that. So we outnumber there. But now here's the smart play I'm gonna make. I'm going to move people here to reinforce. But that's what I'm gonna do. And this person here, this faction here, owns 6 provinces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If I go for them, take that out, and then I go here, I'm not really at war with these people in this faction here. But that allows me to have eyes much closer to this island here, and I can see what's going on there. Meanwhile, taking out these people and these people here, pretty much allowing me to shift my whole focus from here all the way up. So pretty much what you can see on the screen now is my focus. It's all I really have to worry about. None of the other stuff really matters at this point. Actually, this, I just noticed that they have this back here. So I actually hope I take them out now. I'd either gain territory and not gain all of it because I would prevent them from losing. Prevent them from, you know, because I would prevent them from gaining territory or launching attacks on me and gain some of theirs, or I'd straight up gain all of their territory. Which has happened. So this is good. Now, I can move that there. And now I have a new naval fleet there, which I'm going to move up to blockade certain stuff. Gonna move that there, we're gonna move this here. Move this down here, reinforce that. Actually, we'll send 100 just in case, but I want to put all of this on the water. We got like a little rogue group here of soldiers. Actually, just go with 100. Move that back. Put 100 there. So now it has nowhere to go. And then I'm going to launch an attack with that force there. I'm going to have that reoccupy this area, because we're pushing up our border. Which means I can move this here, and this here. Alright. They were doomed to lose that territory. And this is the big city. So what I'm going to do here, and what I know I should do, now that I got all my troops ordered and I pretty much made all the actions that I want to take, almost all of them, have to move that one. I have just eliminated them by taking out their leader. We have one nation left, but I have expanded so much that I have so little territories. So my best bet here is not to abandon what I have up there, but to try and make use of it as best I can. But furthermore, my best bet now is to launch naval attacks, because these are low populated areas, except for this one. I'll actually make this my stronghold on this island. Do I really need 500? Okay, maybe not. Maybe 300. I have defenses. Well, I didn't make them, but, you know, they were there when we took it over, so, you know, we might as well make use of it ourselves. Put all of that onto the water. I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to move this here. We're not going to put these into a naval assault team, but these are just going to be, for now, what we will call our very own blockade, pretty much for our own defenses. Okay, yeah, that cost a half a ton of money. So I'm gonna save my money and and see if I can't do... Well, no. We're actually just going to pretty much just stick with the plan. This is going to take forever. You know, to move, put all of our... just to wait enough turns for the fertility festivals to happen. But at the same time, I want to be able to attack them in large amounts. If I could effectively put 100 on, like, all the borders here, I'd be happy. But I doubt I can even do that with this one. Yep. I called it. I think having at least one will be helpful. But at the same time, I don't want to give these enemies a fighting chance. Shocked that I can even put 200 there. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get 100 from there, so... something just... I could just tell. Alright. Okay. Now it's giving me the notification that I can make another election. This is something I want to do, and this is something I think I can do. Alright. Now I'm ending my turn. Now, the best thing for me to do now is to expand even more. Is what I think could be done. But we're not worried about expanding so much as we are about taking key inventory structures away because we have so many borders to worry about. If we can get them focused on the most strong point of ours that we're using to attack them, like one army that we are moving in to attack them with, that they have to worry about that, otherwise they're screwed kind of thing. That's what's going to happen here. Because, yeah, it's 100 troops, but they could spend, like, maybe 2 or 3 turns and get enough troops to have a force that could actually take over the territory versus what they probably could have if they just spend enough money to protect said territory. But I don't think they're focusing as much on that because they're not at war. So, what I'm going to do is, in this situation... Seeing as there's only one nation left, and that's typically the only time I use recognition, is this. No matter what, I will get what I want to win this scenario. They either have the option of surrendering, or they have to fight it out to the end. I'm making them fight or surrender. Those are their only two options. And if they ask for peace, well, I'm not going to give it to them. No actions entered. Well, actually... You wanna know what I do? There we go. Tonight we go to war. Let's move in and take out every single person in our way. Moving that in, and that's gonna be very devastating. The devastation levels are... Well, I was gonna make the meme of over 9,000, but then again... It's only 2,000, so... It's over 1,000, I guess. Yeah. We'll go with that. Let's make over 1,000 a meme. Not 9,000. Because sometimes you don't need that much. Okay. Well, given what I've seen here, I could, and what I am gonna do is put this here. Make him look like I'm striking to the heart of all the territory they have on this island. But I don't need to. But the fact that they think I know that is where I'm going to make best use of what I'm about to do. I'm going to buy as many troops as I can. Only send 200 that way to occupy that territory. And then we got their leaders surrounded. No matter how much they send there to reinforce, it's not going to stop the amount of troops I'm buying and just sending right in there. I am almost guaranteed a victory here. And another nation falls to my strategic prowess. Scenario completed. Did so without... Actually, you didn't see this on camera, but I did lose one territory, but I retook it. But yeah, for the most part, expanded, like 99% of the time was me expanding. Only lost one territory, but, did pretty good there. And my idea here for my overall strategy of starting out here, expanding on a few neighbors that we know we can take out, get some quick and early land, so that we can have a little bit more for ourselves, make more territory, and expand from there is good. But you gotta consider when picking your nations not to start two front wars. Maybe have 1 to 2 enemies at most, if you're gonna make enemies so that you can go to war and expand. But location and where you're fighting them from is key. And also, because this is mostly island-based, beware of your waters. Now, the new people who started up here, I thought they were gonna last a few turns longer than they actually did. Turns out they didn't, but, my prediction was kind of close. But I was right on the money when I said, low population, low amounts of numbers in your army. Make use of your water as being a natural border. Just make use of all the territories you have. Make sure you have good tax rates on there. Get your money. Buy fertility festivals. And go from there. Then you'll be able to put down maybe 100 or so, at most, to protect certain territories. And then by the time people can actually attack you, maybe a few hundred. From a few territories, at least. And at the most part, I feel like I could have won this scenario playing as several different nations that had options. I just did this one. But hopefully you can tell from the way I did this that you could probably apply it to others. The most annoying thing, though, is if you start over here, there's a lot of mountains. So sometimes you'll go in there thinking, oh, you can attack from here to here, but turns out you can't. So you gotta pay attention to that. But overall, in conclusion, as long as you pay attention to what's happening on one side of the map, as well as the other while implementing this strategy, you should not have any issues, really, unless someone else is just as good as you trying to take on people here. Now, my idea here of naval blockades is good, but if you don't own everything from this side, and you still have nations here, they can still send naval fleets down here and attack the coastline, which means you might need to have what I have here, but have your naval blockades here on one side, but also on the other side too. So, well, I guess that ends off this strategy guide here. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, leave me any comments, questions, or feedback for me in the comments section down below. It would be highly appreciated. Also want to let you know that I will be doing strategy guides on all the official scenarios for this game. I really like this game, in case you haven't figured that out yet. But I think I have like maybe 2 or 3 left, so if you suggest one that I haven't done in the comments section, I'll do that one instead of just doing them in random order, which I have been doing. But if you want a certain scenario done, I will do that. And I will try to also spend time on ideas that you give me. Like, I know someone asked me in the DM on Twitter, would I do like specific factions? I usually just pick the one that I think I'll have the best chance with, given the scenario. But I have been lately starting to take the time to put in the videos what I would do if I were to play as this other team for the first few turns into the game and so forth, to point people in the right direction as best I can if they choose not to play as the faction for whatever reason. Maybe they prefer to start out there given the resources and the strategy they want to use, or maybe they just really like that nation, or maybe it's because they're from that nation or faction, or descendants from it or whatever, and they really want to play as their ancestors or whatever, which is fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But, everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. In this scenario, I was able to make best use of the one I had in the early game and knew I could snowball it into a victory in the end game, which, even if you don't get a snowball rolling and start, like, going after nation, you still can sort of do it at a slower rate. I wouldn't call it a snowball. But you really have to snowball if you're like some nations on this map compared to others. Otherwise, you can't win. So, hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys later in another video. Bye-bye!